Hi everyone, it's Denise. I'm going to show you how to use the Victoria's Secret box file that I did. It's a little more complicated than some of them, and sometimes just a visual will help. Here I have my file all opened. My layers palette's not visible, and we need that. So go up to your top toolbar and click on Window, click Layers. That brings your Windows palette up. So here we are, and we have our 3 layers showing. We have our cut layer, the heart, which is also a cut layer, and our score layer. Now before we get started, I just wanted to show you can resize this. Just make sure they're all showing. Drag a box around the entire thing, and then you can make it smaller or bigger. You just have to make sure everything's selected and your Keep Proportions button, which is right here in your Properties box, is checked. Now I'm going to get us back to the original size, so I'm going to go to Edit and use my Undo button, my best friend. Every time you click it, it just undoes back to where you were. Okay, so this is our original file right here. This will fit on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, but you need to use your 12 by 24 mat. The cutting margins don't allow you to do a full 12 by 12 cut on the 12 by 12 mat. So I use my 12 by 24. Just line the right edge of your paper up over the 12, and that will work for you. So we're going to do our cut layer first, so we can shut off our score layer. And the heart, we're going to leave that on because it's Valentine's Day and we want to use that. If you didn't want it, just turn it and it goes off, but we want it. So now just load your mat and your paper into your machine and click Cut. When it's finished, click Load Paper. Don't unload your paper. Load Paper will take you back to your original starting point, which is what we want. So now we're going to do our score layer. So we're going to click the eye and open that. We can shut off the other 2 because we don't want to cut those. Now you need to change your blade depth. I changed mine to 2, so that means the little arrow is pointing to the 2. And make sure your arrow is facing square front in front of you, because that gives you your best cut with a Cricut. If it's off to the side, sometimes it messes things up. So that's just a little tip. Then your pressure dial is over on your left. You're going to roll that down as low as it will go. That will say min for minimum, and that's what you want. And then just go ahead and click Cut. And that will cut your score lines, and I will show you how to put that together. Okay, here we have our file all cut out. I'm sure you can't see the score lines on camera, but you can see yours, I'm sure. So that's what we have to do. We have to go ahead and fold all of our score lines. Depending on how heavy your paper is, it can be easy or a little tricky. I'm just going to fold all of the straight ones first. And this paper is pretty heavy, so I have a hard time finding them. You could take your bone folder and go over the straight ones again. Excuse my phone if you wanted to, but I'm not going to bother. Now the tricky ones. First thing we're going to do is this top part needs to fold the other way, so we're going to kind of crease it the other way. Paper is pretty flexible if you teach it what you need it to do, and that's the whole point of scoring and all that. Okay, so now the little scale, let's do our end flap. There we go. Now the little scalloped ones, they're the trickiest. I just find, I don't know if you can tell, if you just hold the center and then just take your finger and push. And kind of wait for the paper to start going. The better you can get these scored and folded, the easier your box is going to go together. Can you see that? So it needs to look like that. Your petals are going to scoop in, so that's what you're going for. And I just find, just fiddle with it. Get them right down into that point. Some of them are easier to do than others. Like I said, just take your time. The better you do this, the nicer your finished box will look. And so you want them to be very much shaped into their little petal shape. Okay, so those are all done. Now I'm going to use regular ribbon on this, not the curling ribbon. So I'm going to add my ribbon now. I don't know if my ATG gun is going to hold this or not, but what I'm going to try to do. So below these little
slots, I'm going to just stick some adhesive. Probably sticky strip would work better, but for now, then I'm just going to feed my ribbon through that hole. This is the inside of my box, so I want the wrong side showing. We'll see how well when I try to tie it that holds, but you could just tape it if you wanted. I don't have any tape handy. Okay, and for adhering this, I would say sticky strip or score tape would be your best bet, but I am just going to use my ATG gun for the video. I'm going to put 2 strips. I want a lot of adhesive, and especially go all the way to the ends, even off the ends. Then I'm going to put a strip on the inside too, just to give it some more holding power. And just fold that flap in, fold that one up, push it down. The bottom of this box goes together very nicely. This one, kind of like an H shape, needs to go in first. Then your 2 little side flaps. Then you just tuck this one in. And I love that. I'm weird, I know. Okay, now for the top, which can be tricky. Remember, in between, these all have to go in. So that part's going to go in. And you just have to push. If you get all 4 of those going in, you just have to push. Now I like to push it both ways before I try to hook anything. And these slots that I made are a little loose. I should have made a narrower rectangle than I did so they don't stay as well as I would like. I thought I had fixed it, but I guess I didn't. Okay, so then you just have to pull them in. You might want to tape this. I might go back and fix the file and just put a slit instead of an actual rectangle. But then that one comes in. We'll see how well I can tie this on camera. Probably not, but I'm gonna try. Oh, I did it. You could just do a quick knot if you really wanted it to stay. There. Voila. Need to fix my bow a little and trim the ends. I would rather have them too long than too short and cut them off. But there you have it. Oh, and I should have put a piece of acetate behind that, and I didn't. I still can. But I should have done it while it was flat. It would have been easier. But there you go. I love this box. It's cute. And if you've seen my other one, I did last year's Victoria's Secret box, and I don't believe I did a video for that. But the scoring and the folding for the top is the same. There's more of these points, but it's exactly the same way if that helps. Thanks for watching.